Good luck, Anna-Maja. Oh wow, 23, 19 months, soon 2 years. Go Anna-Maja. win or don't come back.
E ontem teve o Douro Blitz Cruise, um torneio de rápidas sobre o Douro, em que teve 80 inscritos. Nos próximos dias vai ter mais eventos em paralelo a este torneio, o torneio principal. Temos o Mais 6 Open, que é o torneio principal. Temos o evento dos Queens, que é um evento de promoção da figura feminina no xadrez, que é no dia 24 pelas 10 na Quinta dos Cornos. Temos também o Maia Rapid Cup, que é um xadrez muito rápidas, e ainda tem inscrições por preencher, portanto, recomendo imenso que se inscrevam. Além disso, nesse mesmo dia também temos o Illegal!
Anna-Maja Hype 1.
E nesse mesmo dia, ou seja, à noite, temos o Night Chess Party, que é basicamente um convívio em que podem também jogar xadrez. Por último, queria dizer que vamos ter aqui o chefe árbitro Carlos Ferreira, que nos vai dar algumas informações acerca da arbitragem. E agora passo aqui a palavra ao meu colega João António.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the opening ceremony of the Maia Chess Tournament. First of all, I want to thank everybody who made this possible, to the Maia Chess Academy, to help set things up, to the Maia City Council, here represented by Councilman Anna-Maja. Without your support, this wouldn't be possible. To thank Maia as well for granting us this beautiful venue we're playing at, represented by engineer Maia. And also to the Portuguese Chess Federation and the Porto Chess Association for lending us the chess pieces and chess boards and DGTs that we will play. Thank you all. Illegal! Started about a month ago with the Congress showing the links for how you can use chess in the classroom. But the festival of chess itself started yesterday during the Blitz Cruise with over 80 participants. We broke every record, and so we had to split the cruise into 2 trips. And yes, this is not the only parallel activity to the open tournament, which will go on between today to the 2nd and the 31st of August. We'll have all
Your band.
We'll start on 24th, Sunday morning, with the Queen's Blitz event, which is a female-only Blitz event dedicated to promoting the female participation in chess and includes in the Maia scene. Further, we also have, and this is quite important, the Maia Rapid Cup, a rapid tournament that we added somewhat recently, so registrations are still open. Please use the Google Forms that most of you used to register for the Open to register for the Rapid Tournament. And roughly at the same time, if you really don't want to participate in the Rapid Tournament, you can come here to the auditorium and spectate the streamers where the streamers will play against each other. And the 27th, the busiest day by far, will finish with the Night Chess Party at Ready Sports Lounge, or if you stole the Maia, which is just a casual gathering where people can grab some things to eat, and we'll bring over boards and chess pieces, and you can play casually with each other. Now, we'll also have
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
at 10 a.m. I don't know the exact dates, we'll let you know afterwards, but the grandmasters will give you chess lesson for free here at the auditorium. So, just to finish off, we broke every record in this edition. We have a record number of participants from 44 chess federations with 13 grandmasters and 79
Go win the chess. Let's go. You got this.
Chief Arbiter will now say a few words.
Boa tarde a todos. Good afternoon for all. Para quem já me conhece, sou Carlos Ferreira, árbitro internacional, e é para mim um prazer estar aqui novamente a chefiar toda esta equipa que vou apresentar. All, my name is Carlos Ferreira, I'm an international arbiter, and I'm the chief arbiter from this tournament for the third time. It's a pleasure for me and for all the team arbiters present. I will first present all the team, and next I will send to you any information, important information, because we have more rules this year. My debut arbiter, meu árbitro assistente junto, Qualquer jogador que seja encontrado em equipamento eletrónico perderá imediatamente a sua partida e a direção da prova decidirá o que acontecerá a seguir.
Muy bien, todos los acompañantes no podrán pasar a ninguna de las salas con excepción de este auditorio. Tenemos no podrán en esta primera línea y en la última, dado que están todos los streamers, pero eso sí, solo podrán pasar a este auditorio sin ningún equipamiento electrónico. Todos podrían dejarlo igual que los jugadores, abajo, en la entrada, hay un servicio que les puede recoger cualquier dispositivo electrónico y ya les podrán tener acceso a este auditorio. Los jugadores que juegan en este auditorio, tanto streamers como jugadores, deben de usar obligatoriamente los baños que tenemos detrás del escenario. Es obligado usar estos baños. El resto, incluso para salir de la sala, cualquier salida que deba de haber de la sala, tienen que consultarlo al árbitro para poder salir de la sala.
In second, third and fourth place, the same rules, but we have no assistance in these rules. All the public stay here or down. In second, third room, alpha, room, beta, and the big room outside, we have no assistance. If you want to stay only here without any electronic equipment. Portanto, todos os assistentes não poderão estar nem na sala 2, nem na sala 3, ou seja, na sala alfa, na sala beta, nem na sala principal maior. O único sítio onde poderão estar será aqui, onde serão transmitidos alguns jogos, onde poderão estar também a acompanhar o torneio. Quem quiser estar com equipamentos eletrónicos terá que estar na parte de baixo. Todos os jogadores, quando terminarem as suas partidas, são considerados público e terão que abandonar a sala de jogo. All players, when finished your game, when assigned the score sheet, you need to go out because after this you are public. Okay? Any ask of buy from another round, you need to ask before finish all games. All the arbiters have a paper when you can assign your name and ask any buy from or any round if you don't want to buy because you have to go to a portable whatever.
Bueno, los jugadores evidentemente no pueden tener ningún dispositivo electrónico, todos deben obligatoriamente dejarlo abajo. Si algún jugador evidentemente se lleva algún dispositivo electrónico, automáticamente perderá la partida y puede ser expulsado del torneo. Por lo tanto, es obligatorio dejar abajo cualquier dispositivo electrónico. Y una vez finalizadas las partidas, deben de entregar la planilla al árbitro debidamente cumplimentada y firmada, antes de abandonar obligatoriamente la sala de juego. Ya en este momento pasarán a ser espectadores o acompañantes y por lo tanto deberán de abandonar el recinto de juego o podrán estar en este auditorio en las mismas condiciones que el resto de acompañantes.
Ora, neste momento, penso que estejamos em condições. Vamos, quem tem equipamentos eletrónicos e os querem deixar em baixo ou algum acompanhante que não fica aqui pode fazê-lo. Vamos começar dentro de 10, 15 minutos no máximo. Now you can leave your electronic device outside or give for any people who you have with you, and we're going to start in 10, 15 minutes. Okay? Thank you.
Bueno, ahora tendremos 10 minutos para poder dejar cualquier dispositivo electrónico.
hello chat. If you can hear this, please type hi in chat. I'll be back in a minute. All right. Seems people can hear. Okay. Oh, my stream. Okay, my stream's working. I have a question, mostly for the mods, but also for the rest of the chat. First of all, is the sound okay? Secondly, do you guys want me to commentate the position we can see on stream or the position on the chess.com board? Because the position on the chess.com board is like some time behind. I think it's actually might be the full 10 minutes. So, oh, my Mickey's board is like some time behind. I think it's actually might be the full 10 minutes. So, oh, my mic is quite low. Oh, it's just in the Discord voice chat, so you can hear my voice without a stream, I suppose. Oh, okay. Did I cross the stream? Maybe. All right. Yeah, we're back, I think. I got like a notification in Discord. Yeah, cool. I guess there is some like problem with the bandwidth or something. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, as Nodi was saying, the chess.com board is like 10 minutes ahead of the stream. So I'm a bit confused, like what position should I tell you guys about? Does it make sense to tell you about the position you see? Because some of you will go to the board and you know, you can see the future, kind of. But on the other hand, if I go to the board, then it's going to be a bit confusing with the position there. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But in any case, we do have Sicilian Najdorf, which Anna has been cooking for quite a while, I think. And she has gotten quite a good position against her opponent, FM Milan Kandic from Serbia. And yeah, usually it's a good sign when you play the Najdorf as black and your opponent hasn't pushed any pawn to the king side. In fact, white has only pushed the e pawn, has not pushed the second pawn. It's usually not the way to beat the Najdorf. I'm just gonna try to be very general. Okay, people are saying based on the chess.com board, then I'll do that. Should be like about 10 minutes behind on the stream, but you can check the link that Nori posted in the chat and just go there to see the game. So we're on move 11, and it's white to make his 12th move. And yeah, as I said, this position looks quite good for black, but not much yet. It's just that really white doesn't really have any attack, right? I mean, the queen is also. Sometimes it makes sense in the Najdorf to put the queen on f3, but yeah, right now I think it just blocks the pawn, right? You kind of need a pawn on f4, so white is a bit stuck. And meanwhile, black has done this nice Scheveningen, I think I pronounced that correctly, structure, with a pawn on a6, d6, e6. And she's preparing to play b5, I think, at some point. That should be the logical development, and then bishop b7, rook to c8, and try to attack the white king. We can also take the bishop at pretty much any time and grab the bishop pair for free, because this bishop is basically trapped. And yeah, that's another sign that white's opening is not really that great. Like, black can pretty much get the bishop pair whenever she wants. Yeah, so far so good. I think Anna will be really happy with her opening, especially she's very used to being kind of worse out of the opening and then trying to kind of come back or outplay her opponent in position where objectively she would be worse. But this is not the case now. So now she's actually, trying to outplay her opponents already from an advantageous position. So that's a good sign. Let me try and see. Okay, apparently there are some games in the database from the current position. So I'm talking about the position of the chess.com board. So after 11th move of black, short castle, there are 3 games in the Leech's database. 2 draws and 1 black win. Win was by Grandmaster Jaime Santos. 2 draws and 1 black win. Win was by Grandmaster Jaime Santos Latasa from Spain, who beat 2350 Jose Fernandez Garcia in 2021. White played rook h to e1, 2 of them. Yeah, I think it's all the streamers in Portugal. You can tell. Or is Anna stream the only stream having issues? I'm not sure. Honestly, I can't really watch. Like, my recommended Twitch stub is full of Maia streams, let's say. Right. Yeah, I think it should be back. Yeah, I'm trying. I think it should be back. Yeah, I'm also trying to refresh. So. Is it only this channel that keeps going offline? Maybe I'm jinxing it. Anyway, I'll just keep yapping. I'm not sure if people on YouTube can hear me, because I don't have the YouTube open. Let me actually try and open the YouTube chat. See if people there can actually hear me right to its breaking. It's kind of weird because it should be restream, right? So it should stream at both places simultaneously. So maybe it's like a Twitch issue. Okay. I think. Okay. Are we back? I'm still refreshing. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I think we are back, and I also see a move. So white has played h4, which is kind of a novelty. Not really, actually. Okay, so this has also been played in a game in 2016. Again, black won. It does not surprise me. Like, black should already be slightly better. h4 is not a bad move. Like, I do get that you want to play h5 and h6, right? makes a lot of sense. The problem is, white is so far behind with the pawn pushing. So ideally you would want like to already have like a pawn on f4, a pawn on g4. Because right now, if white plays h5, then black will just play h6, and that stops the pawn storm of white. It doesn't really weaken black's position at all, and it also attacks the bishop, so it comes with tempo. So yeah, white will have to move the bishop, and then it's black to move again. So the whole point here is that black's b5, b4 threats come much quicker than whatever white tries to do on the king side. So okay, someone is at the board, I guess, trying to fix the stuff. Hello, whoever that is. I have no clue what's going on right now. The producer is trying to find, I think, Anna's board. Should be findable. Yep, that is the correct board. Problem is, we need to see the streamer as well, right? We can't just have the board at like 200% zoom. How to resize in OBS? I think you have to hold the Alt. Also, yeah, could you please press whatever key is the shift? Is it F? Or let me see actually. Oh, it's not F. F does like a fist bump. Yeah, I have no clue how to flip the board either in Suzuki. You see, this is why we need bucks in the place. Oh, he did it in the wrong tab. Okay, I mean the first round of tournaments are always kind of a experimental situation. At least here, but yeah, at least we can see the position kind of, right? If we imagine that, you know, this is a chessboard, we're black, we can imagine the 8th row and the 1st row. Not much has changed. Yeah. Am I talking to you? Yes, I am also talking to you on YouTube, but I cannot see the streamer, so I can only see a board, which is not in the correct size as well on the Twitch stream. You can also follow on chess.com. Can go here. But yeah, we are waiting for the technician or whoever is from the tournament organizers, I suppose. You will imagine the webcam. Yeah, we probably should imagine the webcam as well. I think whoever is at the side didn't change like tabs, so there should be like one tab with the board and one tab with the entire scene or something. But yeah, I'm not sure. Can I send a link of the game? I will. Yep. Let me send a link on YouTube. What account I'm logged in? No, I'm logged in. Random account. Okay. Technical stuff is top notch. Yeah. Usually I would apologize, but most of it I don't think it's my fault. I think it's whoever is at the side in Portugal. yeah, okay. So the stream is back, but even more importantly, we won't know when sees the banana. Yeah. Yeah, someone tried to fix it, but I don't think he put too much time into seeing like what the chat actually sees. Because right now we can't really see. Well, what we can see, if you look very closely at the left part of your screen, you see there are many chessboards. One of them is our fellow community member, Adrian Mansink, playing with black against Grandmaster Anderson in a position that looks like a King's Indian to me. Or, well, or more like a Benoni than a King's Indian. Didn't know Adrian played the Benoni. But, yeah, that one seems quite interesting. Especially the double pawns on g6 and g5. Is to pronounce that as Ben-Oni? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I just say Benoni. It's like, I don't know, it rhymes with macaroni or something, I don't know. It looks kind of Italian. But, yeah. Hello, Altud. Welcome. Yeah, I'm here. Not much else is here. No stream. Stream is breaking down, and the board is kind of weird, but we'll manage. Next accessible calls probably be about streaming live tournaments. Yeah. I mean, it's always you know, when you have to fix stuff in a hurry, something will go wrong usually. So with a little bit of fantasy, it counts as art. Yeah, we could like make a screenshot and be like an abstract painting of streamer experience in a chess tournament or something. B5 now for black. Yeah. So yeah, as I said earlier, the reason why black is slightly better is that black's pawn pushes on the queen side are going to come much faster than white's pawn pushes on the king side. So Anna should play b5 and try to play b4 or bishop b7. It's very normal plan in the Najdorf. I'm actually wondering why is he thinking for so long, because it does look like a natural move to me. And the problem is that white might want to play h5, but h5 can always be met with h6. And yeah, white doesn't really have a way to break through this very solid pawn structure on the king side. You would need to spend a lot of moves trying to get g5 in, especially the pawn on h6, because that would just take it. So as I say all of this, Anna has played b5, which is also the engine's first choice, unsurprisingly. It's very natural. And yeah, now she can follow up with bishop b7. Computer wants rook b8. I'm not sure I understand that move. b4 is also a thought. So let's say if white does something random, like g4, let's say, which could be an interesting move. Maybe she's taking time because she's eating the banana. Yeah, makes sense. Maybe she was away from the board checking like how all of her friends are doing. There's a lot of people on this tournament that she would know. So yeah, you know, you can always get distracted by such stuff, especially in kind of a streamer. So I didn't really see how the setting is. Do they have like all streamers next to each other or something like that? So maybe, you know, she got up from the board and taking the other games. But yeah, as I was saying, hello Konstantin. As I was saying, like if white plays something like g4, then black plays b4, and that removes the defender of the e4 pawn. So at some point we can go with a knight on c5 and take on e4. So yeah, black's threats are coming much quicker to fruition than whatever white is doing, which I'm not even sure like if white played like 2 moves in a row. I think black would still be better here. Unless of course the moves like bishop takes f6 takes e7, okay. But yeah. Is the zoom only weird for you? No, it is not. It used to be normal, but someone in Portugal played around with it, and yeah, yeah, you got this abomination where we have to imagine the last one. So I told the chat. Do they give the streamers a fixed board, or do they have to set up every day? Usually it's fixed, so um, it's fixed. Um, so yeah, usually every streamer has a board for themselves. So let's say Anna would have like board 10, let's say, for herself, despite it's part of everything, like no matter how many points she has or anything. Okay. Ignis Flora says I would take on b5, sack a knight for 2 pawns. That would make some sense if the black king was not castled on the king side, because right now, okay, you are sacrificing a knight for 2 pawns, but on king, which is good. Like imagine after knight takes b5, a takes b5, knight takes b5, the A, B, and C files are all open, and they're all pointing towards your king. So what will eventually happen is you get 2 black rooks on king, which is good. 5, knight takes b5, and they're all pointing towards your king. So on some of these files, and also down a piece. Yeah, knight takes b5. Not really one of the plans. So white played a3, trying to stop b4. As we said, that was kind of a threat of Anna, and Say played very natural move bishop to b7. Again, the computer wanted to play rook b8. I guess with the idea to play b4 and try and break through immediately. But bishop b7 is very natural, I think. Well, at least it's the first move I would see and the first move I would play as well. So yeah, looks pretty good. I think in some nighters you sack a piece for 3 pawns. Yeah, exactly. But what has changed is that usually in this case, black is not castled. So you also have some compensation related to attacking the king. Right now, black's king is extremely safe. White has not really made any inroads in attacking the castle king. And it's actually black who is the one attacking. And yeah, so after bishop b7, we are attacking e4. e4 is attacked 3 times. And I'm having a hard time seeing how white defends it, actually. Because if you play something like, let's say, rook h to e1, I guess that would be the most natural, right? That is what I probably would go for as white. Yeah, maybe that defense. But black could just slowly but surely, play rook f2 c8 or something. Rook a to b8 and try and play b4 eventually. I wonder what makes the stream break. Probably it's the bandwidth issue, I suppose. Like when you have like 15 streamers or so streaming from the same place, maybe that is not very good. I wonder what happens if they all use like their own like data instead of using the whatever internet the venue has. But I'm not a big expert on that. I'm not seeing many other Discord pings except from Anna-Maja server. So I suppose that most other streams are mostly fine. So yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's we can blame the iPhone or whatever phone she's using. Yeah, true. I mean, you guys know my opinion about iPhones, so yeah. So yeah, Black's well, Black's position is really good. The onus is mostly on White to prove that they have a plan, and yeah. I think Black's next move are going to be invisible for us, because I think she's going to bring a rook to c8, possibly the f rook. So yeah, okay, it's White to move now, but might see. Actually, we might see something like rook h to e1, rook f to c8, and let's say g4, rook a to b8 or something. So you will not see a lot of these moves on your screen if it stays like that. We can also wait until one of the low-rated streamers finishes and spam her chat to come and fix Anna-Maja's board, or tell someone to fix it. That's also maybe an idea. But I don't think that any games are going to finish that early, at least, because it's only been an hour or so of games. But that could be a plan for later. People get bored to see this weird zoomed-in board. Could always spam other chats. Nowadays is saying that he fixed Mubo so that it doesn't ping everyone every time the stream breaks. That makes sense. Quickest win was 10 minutes, wow. In Classical? That's crazy. How fast do you guys play in Classical? Yeah, I mean, anything could happen. When I watch the streamers for like 1500, 1600, something I notice is that they don't resign at all, which I guess is good, because sometimes people don't really know how to convert. But yeah, even if you blunder a piece due to a tactic, they will not resign, so you still have to play on. So I don't think that many games finish in like 1 hour, unless it's someone really high rated playing like someone low rated. Then maybe they checkmate or something. Well, for starters, they could resize the board, right? That would be a good thing. And then about the camera, we would, well, I don't think people care, but at least we can see the board. That should be nice to see the board in full, so that we can talk about it. Yes, hello people. I'm commentating, at least for now. I'm not sure I will be here for the entire round, but yeah, I was thinking it'd be a nice day today to say hi to you guys a little bit and look at the game. I have not really had much time to catch up on OTV chess. So I guess watching, good players play chess is also a way of getting back into it a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure if she will be shocked, but she will probably not be very happy. Do I think it's more fun to play Sicilian as black or white? Let's see. Technically, I do play the Sicilian as black. I think, well, maybe I'm biased because now I see a very good Sicilian for black on the board, but I think black usually has more fun than white in the Sicilian. Unless white is really well prepped, then it's the opposite. But yeah. Yeah, that's why I play the Alabin, to take the fun out of the, guy who's excited to play open Sicilian, and Yeah, and then it's fun only for me. It's not full gaming. So you say that we have the same mindset. So basically, I think that people who play the Sicilian, they want to see the open. They don't really want to see the anti-Sicilians. So that's my logic of playing the anti-Sicilians. That I'm trying to ruin my opponent's fun, you know. I'm ordering switching French to Sicilian. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Both are legit openings. You can. Okay, I see a mouse moving, so maybe someone is at the laptop again. So if someone is hearing the stream, can you please resize the board? That would be really appreciated. Or maybe it was only me who saw the mouse moving. It was my own mouse. No, I don't think it was. Yeah, the French can be fun as well. A lot of people, I think on the kind of intermediate level, let's say around 1600 chess.com, they blunder a lot against the French. Okay, there it is again. Yay! There we go. Yeah, we want this on like the main instead of the other thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. They hear. At least we can see the position. Yeah, and or maybe you can change the background scene to the cam. Couldn't get worse. What do you mean worse? It's here. Oh no, it's not. No. I think someone is trolling. I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually bugs and it's trolling us. Yay, they come. No. Okay, so we need this small thing and then the cam in the background. That would be really nice. Okay, now we have none of these things. Yes, this is good. Yes. And then if we can add the board. Yes. Almost there. Let's go. Okay. Let's put a clap in the chat for whoever is taking the time to fix all of this. Maybe put the board a little bit to the left. Okay, or this is also good. But maybe a little bit to the left so that it doesn't cover the opponents. But this is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, you can leave it there if you want. Mystery helper, yeah. Yeah, nice. That is nice. Yeah, thank you, whoever fixed it. Let me. Should I ping people? Yeah, I think this is fine now. Let me write on the Discord. What should I write? Like, stream layout is fixed now. By the way, okay, I think I'll write that. Which move are we on? Oh, it's me, Blood Queen. Thank you. Let's give a shout out to Blood Queen. My opponent forfeited and behind since. Nice. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And well, good game, I guess. How did your opponent forfeit? Did he just not arrive, or did he do anything weird, like open his phone on the to check the opening or something? Yeah, give a follow to Blood Queen. I think she's also one of the many streamers who are playing in Maia. I think Anna just realized that something's going on with her stream. She's looking a curious look. Maybe not. But yeah, thank you very much. And now we can enjoy the position on the left and hand a little bit of cam. It's still a bit delayed. Unfortunately, I don't think this can be fixed, but yeah. We're only missing my cam. Yeah, that would only make it worse, though, I think, with all the lag and stuff. So maybe not. Okay, where are we with the chess? We can see a move, then see reaction. Yeah, but the things that is going on are very normal right now. By very normal, I mean Anna is thinking for 15 minutes. You know, just a normal position where there are no tactics, and making me mad because why? What is the purpose to get behind on time? Maybe this is calculating something. I don't know. Maybe this is calculating b4 or something. But I mean, if I was black, I would just play rook fc8 in 20 seconds. But that's probably why I'm not 2200, right? Sometimes I do play too fast. And in fact, the engine's best move is not rook fc8, so maybe my approach is not the best. Actually, the best move is queen to b6, according to the engine. And the idea is to prepare b4, and you want to kind of force a trade and take with the queen on b4. The queen does look actually pretty good on b4, because white can't really kick it out, except if he plays like knight a2, which looks kind of weird. Also unprotects e4, so after queen a5, you probably have to move it back to c3 anyway. So yeah, queen b6 is a move that does make sense. And yeah. Actually, what is the biggest prize I've ever won? You mean in chess? Not sure. I've won a lot of times around like 200 euros, I would say. But I think the biggest prize was like once my club organized a festival which included like classical, rapid, and blitz. And we had like a combined prize pool for total points, kind of like a Grand Prix. And they also had prizes for the individual tournaments. So I think from that like whole festival in total I won like 500 euros. But yeah, I'm not a professional chess player, so I don't really care about prizes. That can cover the trip expenses. I think 2,000 can more than cover the trip expenses, but 200 no, that is true. But that tournament I'm talking about was in my hometown anyway, so didn't really have any expenses. But I think most people also view it as kind of vacation, you know, especially those who are not professional. You know, take some days off work and relax, play some chess, and yeah. Yeah, maybe people in the chat who are actually playing chess for a living could answer this better, like Konstantin or Kasper if he's still here. And I'm assuming they've also won much higher prizes, so makes sense. In fact, my next tournament, I'm playing a tournament here in the northern Netherlands. The prize money is 30 euros for the winner. So that can't even cover the train to the random village I'm going to. But yeah, nobody really cares. It's also a tournament with only 4 people, technically, so yeah. I guess we can cover like what's maybe 2 meals would be nice, yeah. Because I would actually have to eat out when I go to the tournament, so at least I can cover that, that's good. You know, have 1 out of 4 chance for that to be paid for me. Yeah, or a few beers, yeah. Unless you have sponsors like Anna, it seems very complicated living from chess. Yeah, it's not everyone can do it. You have to be either really good or a really famous streamer, like our streamer, or I don't know, really famous coach like Mr. Notchewall. yeah, I don't know, commentator perhaps. Not me. I'm talking about actually good commentators. But yeah, prize just to drink with other players. Could try that. Be like, oh, I won. Let me buy you a beer. That would be funny. But yeah, we'll see. I think most of the players in Maia also kind of got some kind of conditions. Like, I think some things might be cheaper for them than the average tournament goer. But I'm not sure about that, so don't take this for granted. I definitely would try to play some local tournaments when I'm back to Poland. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if there's a tournament in your living place, then by all means. Currently, I live in Groningen, in the northern Netherlands, and there is a tournament here on Christmas that I'm going to try and play. I'm not sure if I will be actually available, because it's a holiday and, you know, meeting parents and stuff like that, but hopefully I will manage to play. I wonder if many Just players drink alcohol. Yeah, they do. Not during the games, but you know, it's a depressing life, right? You have to drink all the pain. If you're a professional chess player. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, nice pronunciation. Thank you. I was with some Dutch guys yesterday, and they kept repeating that I'm basically Dutch. I don't really believe that because I still can't understand like 90% of what people are saying in Dutch, but yeah, I only understand like some words, so not great yet. I would like at least in a year to be like, I don't know, like A1 level. But, yeah. Bring parents and Anna-Maja to the tournament. I'm trying to make Anna come to Groningen, but not much luck so far. We'll see. We'll see. There is also well, if you guys are in the Netherlands and you want to play against me, I'm also playing in the in a pub chess tournament. I think they call this. Okay, I don't remember how they call it. They call it the Kroeglopers toernooi, something like that. And it's in Utrecht, and it's a tournament that you basically play chess in a pub. And I'm going to be playing there with fellow community member Dirke. I don't know how that is pronounced. How do you pronounce tournament in Dutch, actually? Someone should tell me, because I don't know how to do the ending of this thing. I know it's Kroegloper something. Kroegloper toernooi? Toernooi? I don't know. Yeah, I know how it's spelled. I just don't know how it's pronounced. I'll just say toernooi. Whatever. It's not a Dutch stream. Don't judge my beginner Dutch. But yeah, I'm playing this tournament. So if anyone is signed up for it and you know, wants to play against me, maybe they can try that. Actually, it's using more Dutch words than Anna. Yeah, I guess she doesn't speak much Dutch in her streams either. But yeah. We can do Dutch lessons in commentary. Oh no. Thank you for the raid, Miss Cat Candy. Thank you very much. Do I know the chess spaces in Dutch? Well, it's peon, right? Dame, I suppose, is the queen. Springa is the horse. Lope is the bishop. Tore is the rook. Not sure how the king is. It's just conning, probably. Oh, it's part. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm mixing up with German. Yeah, it's part. Yeah, that's why they write P. Yeah, thank you, Newt. Yeah, I don't think when Anna did like a commentary in that, I didn't really have a problem following the chess part of the commentary at least. Yeah, it should be an interesting experience playing in here in the Netherlands. I think I'm probably the only non-Dutch person playing in my tournament, so that should be interesting. Astlink, isn't it like Rockade? Maybe I'm confusing it with German again. But it should be something similar. Is the stream gonna be around 4 hours? Possibly less, possibly more. We don't really know. By the way, it does seem like Anna has. Yeah, you know, you guys are distracting me with the Dutch, and I'm not really commentating on the game. I'm just yapping. But Anna has moved the rook to c8. I wonder why she moved the a rook and not the f rook. Because rook f to c8 optically looks better, at least to me. Because you might want your other rook on d8, right? But maybe she's thinking that she might need the f rook on d8 and try and play d5, which I'm not sure is an idea, to be honest. But or maybe white plays e5 and you take on e5, and then the d file opens up. So yeah, okay, rook a8. Not a terrible move, of course. Still a very good move, and still black is kind of in control of this game because her pawn structure is very solid. Hard for white to break through, and we always can prepare b4 later on. Again, the idea of queen b6 and b4 is also a thing. Yeah, I'm just wondering whether like what's black's next move here. If white plays like g4, what would black do? Do you go for d5? Do you go for rook d8? Not sure. Let us join the voice call for Dutch lessons. I mean, feel free to join. But yeah. Oh, Cabbage is here. Hello. Hello, Mr. Cabbage. One of the world's best chess players. Probably the best. Copy him. Hopefully Anna wins in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's unlikely, I would say. Given that it's her move and she's once again... Oh, it's not, okay. So don't get tilted. No, it's actually white's move in the live board. But okay, Anna has about 51 minutes. So, yeah. Rook fd8 is the plan. Yeah, I assume that's why she played the rook. The a rook. Again, I think it's more common to play rook fc8 and rook ab8, but I think that she does eventually want to play d5, you know. French players, they always want to close down the light square bishop, right? So d5 is very appealing to a French player. But, no, I'm just joking. You know what the problem here is with black's position? Is that I don't really think we're playing g5 in this game as black. Unless it's some kind of endgame, but we might not play g5 here. It's just kind of sad. It would be nice to start with a g5 game, right? Being a good girl doing endgame exercises. Wow. See, people are starting. I think this stream did break down again. Well. Is it Groning's internet? No, it's not. It's definitely not my internet. My internet has been pretty good. But yeah, my internet for once it's not going to be the problem. That's good. was good until the internet realized I was commentating. Yeah, that's illegal, right? I mean, I should not be allowed to commentate without technical issues. Oh, it's not back. It's just a loading screen for me. Hope you guys can hear me, but I can't. Okay, now I think I could to commentate without technical issues. Hope you guys. Okay, now I think I can say it in like 180p or something. It's very spotty, right? I do blame the iPhone still, by the way. But okay, we're back. The other Maia streams don't have this. I did see Joel's stream go back and forth a bit. I'm not sure about the others. Where is Sam, by the way? Isn't Sam streaming? He's not, huh? Maybe he should also go behind the scenes. Yeah. Anna should make another tip goal just to pay for the internet on her trips. Yeah. I didn't actually. I think this is new, right? The support my future tournaments. We should change that. Anna should make another tip goal. Yeah. I didn't actually. I think this is new, right? The support my future tournaments. We should limited internet. It could be some configures. I mean, it's also like I think Anna always wants to stream in 4K. So maybe I don't know what the quality is for the other streamers, but yeah. I'm gonna heat up some poffertjes for a snack. You see, I always knew that you guys cannot really cope with the 6 p.m. dinners. You are starving at night, and you have random days. And I don't know when should I speak and when should I not. But yeah, what 10 pixels is saying makes a lot of sense, I think. Yeah. You probably want to have someone running the stream externally and then just adding the camera feed. The problem is, I'm not sure who is available to do it. I know I am not, especially on weekdays, because I'm working. And the round starts at 5, not played like this one. But yeah, if someone could do that, that would be nice. Might be some OBS version drivers. I mean, usually you want to do a test stream. Like that is what we did in Reykjavik when I was kind of taking over the commentary and producing, let's say, myself. We did have a test stream, but I'm not sure they had time for this in this tournament with all these guys and stuff. Reykjavik does feel more professional, I would say, but I don't want to disrespect the organizers here. I think they do quite a good job. If someone could do what? Well, if someone could like produce the stream on their laptop, but I don't think that's feasible. Unless some of the mods offers to do that, I don't know. Yeah, so basically, GP was saying that a lot of streamers are having commentators that are producing the stream, and instead of hosting the entire stream on a laptop that is there based on, I suppose, the Wi-Fi of the venue, which might be a bit spotty. White's thinking for quite a while, by the way. It's also going under an hour. So that's good for us. To be fair, I wouldn't really have much idea of what to do here as White either. I'd probably play G4. Because, pawn pushing is free when you're not castle on the side and your opponent. And there is not really much consideration about weakness on f4, let's say, or on f3. Black's never going to reach those squares. So g4 does look like a pretty reasonable move here for Mr. Kandic. But maybe he's also exploring other options. Bishop a2 makes a bit of sense, since I don't think we really want to give up this bishop. Like, at some point, I could imagine White playing f4, f5, and bishop diagonal opening up, but this is in the very, very far future. In Portugal, it is, yeah, it's like 5 to 9 right now. Here in the Netherlands, it's 10. It's, yeah, almost 10. I'm responding to Mr. Kasim on YouTube. The thing is that today is also the first round. Usually the first round does start later, in some tournaments at least. Because there were also some people that arrived today in the morning. So I guess they also have to accommodate those. And the thing about Maia is I don't think it's an airport city. So I think, you have to go somewhere like Porto or Lisbon with a plane, then you have to ride or take a bus, or I think it's close to Porto, so you could take a bus, yeah, to the place. So there is like a lot of transport. So that's usually the first round getting delayed by a few hours. So I think the actual time of the round is going to be it's going to be at 5 Central European time, which is 4 Portugal time, which makes more sense, right? I know that I'm also from south of Europe, so we do like our lands like at, let's say, at 3, and then you can play after, or let's say at 2, you can have enough time, and then you can play your game, then you can have dinner after the game. A bit more tricky for Dutches who like their early dinners, but I think it makes more sense than to start a game at 8:30, like today. I wanted to play in Maia, or I couldn't. I mean, it would be nice to play, and I am working, unfortunately, so yeah. I guess I could have taken a week off and played, but it was kind of tricky. Like, I didn't. The thing with tournaments is you really have to book them in advance, especially if you're not like very rich. You want to get good prices on flights and all stuff. So it's hard to know which days you will be available. Let's say. At least it was hard for me this year. That's why I'm not really playing many tournaments. But next year maybe I will consider this tournament. Seems fun. Seems like a nice place. I have never been to Portugal as well. Seems like a nice country to explore. So yeah. It's okay. I'm sending other people to tell me, if the tournament is good. Then if they tell me it's good, I will go next year. It does seem that like White did indeed play g4. And now the ball is back in Anna's court. The evil bar is shifted quite a bit and now says the position is about equal. I don't think that should worry as too much. There is still a lot of game to be played. Like pretty much every piece is still on the board. There's only been one exchange of pawns, so still very much anyone's game. Like anything can really happen. I would say I still prefer black a little bit. I wonder though, like, yeah, this queen b6 b4 plan might be the best idea. There is also another plan in the knight, which is kind of common, which is black sacrifices the exchange on c3, and then, you know, plays rook takes c3, and then white takes back on c3, and then takes on e4. So the idea there is that black sacrifices the exchange for a pawn, and also ruins black's pawn structure, and then you bring the other rook on c8 and you attack c3, let's say. So that's also a potential idea, and a potential reason why you might want to get the queen out of the way. Queen is decently played on c7, but perhaps b6 is a bit better. Yeah, I just hope that Anna doesn't really fall too much behind on time, because this position is going to be quite complicated, and she will need that time to calculate. And Anna's opponent might not be the strongest player in the tournament, but he's definitely experienced, strong player. Might be a bit past his prime, judging by his rating and his title, but he does definitely have the strength to, you know, if Anna makes a mistake, to kind of capitalize on it, I think. So she should be careful as well. But yeah, still a lot of things to be determined. Anna's looking a little bit suspiciously at something. I don't know. I just caught a glimpse of the stream. Not sure what is he looking at. But yeah. I just try to solve a position for white in my move when it's black to move. Yeah, that happens. There are some books that have like both, you know, both sides to move, white and black. But, hydrate? Is that for me or for her? I probably should hydrate as well. So I've been speaking for quite a bit. Oh, so we'll do 12 minutes? Oh. That would mean that she's checking the stream, right? Okay. I'll go get some water or some drink. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, let's answer some questions. So people are saying that each stream makes the that was all. I think before all the stream crashes was less delayed than that. So that means it's very good that we have the board at least on the left. And yeah, banana redeem for me. I'll have a banana too. I did bought bananas from the Jumbo, as you guys told me the supermarket here is called. So I will have a banana later. Thank you for the redeem. But yeah, that was me. I said 2 minutes, but maybe that was wrong. But now it seems like I don't know if I can see the clock times. So the clock times on my stream are 1 hour and 51. And on the board is 54 and 46. So what does that make us? It makes exactly 10 minutes, right? So it is 10 minutes right now. Yeah. Also, I want to answer a question from YouTube. Why not playing 8-6? So Black doesn't really want to play 8-6 here because imagine that White would move the bishop away, and then the 8-6 pawn gives a hook for White to attack. So imagine White would play G5. That would also attack your pawn on 8-6. So you either have to take on G5, which would open the H file after 8-6 G5, and White could attack on the H file, or you would have to allow Black to take on 8-6, which would open the G file. So 8-6 is not a good move here for Black, or would have been not a good move instead of Queen B6. So Black wants to keep all of her pawns on the 7th rank for now, especially since White's going to pawn push on the king side eventually. It's the most, usually, it's the safest position for the pawns. In an opposite side castling situation, it's the safest position to have all your pawns pro. Like, do you see this A3 pawn for White as well? This is something that Black could exploit by playing B4. So it's the same situation on the other side of the board. And that is why Queen B6 is a good move, because now we're preparing the move B4. And that would mean that either the A file or the B file will open, and that would make our attack easier. So, yeah, also White could, as Matthew is saying, could also try and take on F6, although that would bring the bishop to F6, and then G5 is kind of covered, but that could also be a good idea, I think. To try and play like Rook G1, try to get G5. But yeah, in general, you don't really want to move pawns in front of your king, especially in opposite side castling situation. Like, you should keep your pawns as far back as possible in that case. You can push the central pawns, you can push the opposite side pawns, but just don't push in front of your king too much. But yeah, Anna did play Queen B6. And in fact, we are following, we're following a game. I do have the latest database open as well. We're following a game from 2007, which must have reached this position by transposition somehow, between two women who, their names look Polish. I have never heard of them. Komiagina Maria and Zdebskaya Natalia in 2007. So yeah, I'm gonna post the link if anyone's interested. There is still like a, I guess technically it's still theory. Black did win that game, which is a good sign. Black did win in actually in 30 moves only. So yeah, and this is, yeah, this position has a lot of you know, hidden potential in it. Like, I think like in the next 10 moves, the game could be almost decided, depending on what the players play. They could also kind of keep it, but if you look at this game that I posted in the chat, you can see already like at some point White did what Matthew said and took on F6, played G5, but because Black didn't really push any pawns on the king side, eventually okay, Black was able to take over the game. I'm just skimming through it. It does look like white sacrificed a piece, and that didn't work. They sacrificed another piece, and then she was just down one piece and getting mated, so she resigned. Okay, interesting. But yeah, it can be a lot. It can be very sharp, this position. So yeah. I meant the line like 8-6 bishop takes f6 bishop. Tick tick tick. Yeah, you could also sacrifice a pawn like that. Yeah, that is a decent idea as white. Another reason why 8-6 is not recommended. And you see now white played now Anna played queen b6 and white is thinking against, because you know it's also not an easy position to play, I think, as white. I do still like black's position a little bit better, because I feel like black's moves are more natural. So I feel like in the long term, Anna will have more time than her opponent. Maybe that's a bit of copying, but yeah, that's my thinking. And then she will outplay him. Or if that doesn't happen, then maybe he makes a mistake and gets into a worse position, and then he gets outplayed. But yeah, I think the position is a little easier to play as black, because of the reasons we said. Like, there is the hook on a3. Black has no hooks. Black's position, black's king is more solid. Black's pieces are also, I think, a little bit better. Like, every piece kind of has a purpose, except on this rook on f8. I guess this rook could come to d8 at some point and support d5. But so far, you know, every piece kind of, you know, you have these two knights and the bishop lined up against the e4 pawn. You have this queen supporting b4 push. You have even the pawns like on d6 and a6, they're blocking a lot of white's potential squares. Like, white has this really nice central knight on d4, but the knight can't move from d4. Can't go to f5, can't go to c6, can only go back to e2, which would block its own defense of e4, so that also is not good. So the reason why this Scheveningen structure is considered good is exactly because it controls a lot of squares in the fifth rank. So these pawns on d6 and e6, they control c5, d5, e5, f5. Basically, white can't really break through this kind of blockade. That is the whole point. And then he push on the queen side with a6 and d5 and try to break through where white's king is. Yeah, black's main idea here is play b4 indeed, and further her attack on the queen side. Again, the only kind of blemish I would say is that I would like the other rook to be on c8, so that we could shift a rook from a8 to b8 once the b file is open. But the queen can also do a good job from b4, I think. And maybe at some point Anna will be able to play the classic knight or sacrifice rook takes c3, and then bring the other rook to c8 and kind of destroy the white queen side and white's king. So I guess that is a long-term plan to be able to do the sacrifice, but for now, opening the b file, I think it's a good short-term plan for her as well. And as I'm yapping about the position, the two players have now, they both have 46 minutes, so they're equal on time, and white is still thinking. So yeah, not an easy position to play for white. Like, if I had this position as white against a 2200 player, I think I would not really have a good chance. Like, I'd be very clueless what to do here. I'd probably try some tactic that would not work and just lose, to be fair. Like, maybe bishop a2, try and preserve this bishop, but then again, that kind of opens the b file even more, right? Because your bishop might be a bit of a sitting duck on b3, but it kind of also locks the b file down. So, you know, black could take on b3, but you can take it back with a knight from d4, and at least you're not getting checkmated, and then you can bring the bishop back to e3 attack queen or something. But yeah, it's hard to find a move. I mean, white's the computer says queen e3, is the best move, which was also the move played in the database game by 2288 rated play. So I guess they knew something better than me. But queen e3 does hang a pawn on g4 because black can take on g4. The knight is pinned to the bishop on e7. But if the queen is on e3, the knight takes g4 would attack the queen. So yeah, queen e3 does hang a pawn. So I'm not sure if that is an easy move to play. I would not think about queen e3 in this position, white. The same game was played in 2007. Sorry, Room. I'm taking from time to time on the chat. Yes, this was a game played in 2007. Let me. Can I actually post latest links on the YouTube? I'm not sure. I don't want to get banned. Let me try. Who cares, right? I'm not a mod anyway, right? So who cares if I get banned? Okay, I posted this link on YouTube as well. But yeah, this game was played in 2007, and it has followed the exact same position so far. White did play queen e3 here, black played rook c7, which does seem strange. Instead of like b4 or knight takes g4, which wins a pawn. It's, yeah, I guess they knew better. How about e5? So yeah, that is kind of a frustration move. Well, first of all, that blunders your queen. I'm not sure if you noticed that. But that is also kind of like a good long-term plan to play. But the problem is that e4 pawn is very much a target right now. So yeah, we would like to play e5. So maybe that's one of the ideas of queen to e3. But yeah, playing e5 immediately would be a bit unfortunate, I think. But preparing it like queen e3 and e5 or queen e3 and e5 does make some sense. In general, it is a good plan against the Scheveningen to try and play e5. But yeah, that's why the queen on f3 is a bit weird as well, right? People do put the queen on f3 in the knight off, but usually they do it behind a pawn on f4. So then maybe it supports some f5 boost instead. So yeah, it's a bit strange that he's put the queen on f3 without a pawn on f4. Now the pawn on f2 looks kind of stuck there. But yeah, let's see how the game continues. Let me try and refresh because I think I'm missing some of the chat maybe. People are just too quiet now. People are just too quiet. Okay, so white has made a move. And yeah, this move, it does seem a bit strange. But it actually is not so bad, I think. I think it shows that that white is a good player. So he played bishop back to c1. Wait. Did that sync up with the stream? Yo, is the stream now at the same position as the game? Did they fix that? The same position as the... Did they fix that? Did I jinx it? Maybe I did. Ah, I did jinx it. I guess that was a good try. Whoever did that. Okay, we're back. Yeah, it does look like it does look like they fixed it, right? And now the actual camera is following the board, kind of, maybe. It is a bit stuck for me, I don't know. It's kind of stuck in a single frame for me, but I guess that is what they're trying to do. At least. But yeah, if you guys can still hear me, let's say a bit about bishop c1. So yeah, bishop c1 does look a bit strange, but it kind of puts the bishop out of the way in order for white to play g5. So it does make some sense, because white doesn't really have much else to do except push the pawns on the king side. And g5 is a move that makes sense. It kicks the knight away. The knight cannot go to h5 because the queen on f3 would defend that. So you can play g5 and then you can play h5. So I guess that is the thing. Now Anna has gone ahead and taken the bishop on b3. So she's like, you know what? Let's grab the bishop pair. And yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, well, if you're, if you're not going to attack with b4 and stuff like that, I guess bishop c1 also kind of strengthened the b2 square a little bit, kind of discouraging b4. I would still consider b4, to be honest, but knight takes b3. I guess she still has like some ideas of d5 perhaps. And it also opens up the rook from c8, so there might be some rook takes c3 ideas, as we said earlier, available at some point. So yeah, knight takes b3 is an interesting move for sure, and it's definitely one of her options, and I think it's a good one. Okay, now it's still a little bit delayed, I think, because on my stream she hasn't played. I think she's about to play knight takes b3. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on the technical side too much. I think it's fine for now. But yeah. She still didn't eat the banana. Yeah, this banana is going. Imagine if someone grabs it, like some of the other streamers decides he's hungry and just takes it. But yeah, she might need it later. It's a good source of energy to bring to a chess tournament. Possibly the best fruit to bring to a chess tournament. So yeah. But yeah, we're about to kind of, this will be a game decided, I think, on time trouble. And I have like a feeling that it will be decided before move 40 as well. Like, someone will be winning before the endgame. Hopefully it will be Anna. I have a feeling it will be, but I don't want to jinx it. So white is thinking here. He's not instantly taking with a knight. Perhaps he does not want to remove this knight from d4. It's like, okay, this knight is kind of providing some good stuff for me right now. Don't want to move back to b3. I don't want to allow d5, perhaps. Yeah, and indeed he has come ahead and taken with a c pawn. So that does look a little bit strange. It does create a safe square for the white king on a2. And it also does keep the knight on d4 for now. And I think another reason is there is the move d5 for black. So with the knight on b3, if black played d5 and white played e5 to try and keep the position close, then black would have the move d4, attacking the knight on c3, and also discover attack from the bishop on b7 to the queen on f3. So I think White saw all of that, and he's like, I don't want that to happen. So I will take with the pawn, and if Black plays d5, White will play e5, and he will displace the knight. This is still playable for Black, so he can go knight to e4 and try to put pressure on the knight on c3 a little bit. But yeah, if I was Black here, I would probably go b4 and just try and open up the b file and try to target these weak pawns on b2 and b3. Try to win one of those and be up a pawn. That would be my plan. Okay, now the video seems to be working well. It's not the best quality, but still it's really good. And it's Anna's move with less than 40 minutes to go, by the way, and White is also does not have too much time. It's on 42 minutes. So I think if Anna starts putting some pressure here with b4 or d5 or stuff like that, eventually White will make a mistake at some point. Giant Pixels is seeing giant pixels on his screen. Yeah, but yeah, this is at least now it's moving for me. It's not stuck. It used to be like stuck on a single frame. I don't want to jinx it though. The good thing here is that the top two moves are both pawn pushes, so I'm sure that she will play one of those. Yeah, and just as I say that, she's going ahead and playing b4, which makes a lot of sense, I think. Yeah, Anna's in control of this game. I can see it. Like, she's taking advantage of the fact that White took with a c pawn, and he's like, okay, these double pawns, they don't seem that weak, but after I play b4, which you probably have to take, by the way, because if you don't take, then I will take on a3 and then play d5 and the bishop will attack a3. So I don't think White wants that. So I think White will take on b4, and then you'd have doubled isolated pawns on an open file for Black, which is pretty much the weakest pawns White can have. And then Black can try and shift the game to kind of more of a positional approach and say that, you know, I'll play against the weak pawn on b3 and try to play like knight d7, knight c5, knight b3. That would be a nice plan. Maybe I'm going too far with that, but I did just notice that, so it's like, okay, that could be a good plan. So yeah, b4 is definitely a good move, and I do think that Black is very, very comfortable here. Like the evaluation says like minus 0.3, but I think White will struggle to find something good to do, and it would be Black dictating the pace of the game for the next moves. It seemed like he took on a3 in the video. I don't think that happened. Yeah, no, I think the pawn is still on b4. To be fair, b4, if you look at it from a certain point of view, it's kind of like g5, right? So imagine if Anna had the white pieces, then she would make the same exact movement play g5 as he does now, playing b4 as black. So it should be quite a, you know, familiar movement for her. But yeah, this is really good. Like it's pretty much the culmination of what we said earlier, that, you know, why the move a3 makes black's attack easier in a way, and also why black basically got her plan faster than white with his own g5 plan, let's say. Which, by the way, is still a thing. Like, white could still play g5 followed by h5, followed by g6. The problem is, there is not really many pieces to attack on. Like, white has brought both of his rooks to the center, which is generally a good thing. However, both of his rooks are defending right now. Like, the rook on d1 is knight, and the rook on e1 is defending the pawn on e4. So it's going to be hard for white to switch his rooks to the kingside and try to support a kingside attack, which is another reason why white is kind of stuck in this game and would mostly have to defend. Are we going to see Iris? Probably for one move. The computer briefly suggested after 8 takes Anna to play d5, which does make some sense, because maybe she wants to take with the bishop on b4 and put even more pressure on c3. So maybe then the Iris pawns can stay for one more move. Instead of 8 takes before, can I play knight a4? I mean, I can. Black just probably plays queen c7 and threatens queen c2 check. And then you have a dual threat of queen c2 check and b takes a3. Yeah. Oh, queen c... Wait, what am I saying? Queen c2, the knight is defending. You see, that is why I should have done my tactics. But okay, we are threatening e5, followed by queen c2. Let's say. So yeah, there are a lot of threats, I think, for black. But technically, yeah, you could play knight a4, queen c7, and then try to somehow defend. But if the thing is, if you take on b4, then you might run into some trouble. I'm not sure. Could we? I mean, white is definitely thinking about it. If that were not a possibility, then he would have taken it before. But I think, like, if I'm black and I'm calculating, not really care about knight a4. Okay, well, he can play that and move my queen to a better place. Yeah. So as I'm speaking, white did indeed take on b4. And now black. Most logical move for Anna here is to take back with a queen. It should be good enough. The computer, as I said, did briefly recommend d5. Now it's kind of flip-flopping between queen takes b4 and d5. I think both moves are fine. Both moves retain kind of this control over the position that black has, because d5 does also come tempo. White does not want to open the bishop on b7 at all, so white probably is forced to play e5. Because if after d5 you take on d5, the knight will take, and then you have all these kinds of discoveries on the queen. If knight takes d5, knight takes d5, the c file also opens up. The bishop's coming to b4. The other bishop's coming to d5 attacking 3. It's a nightmare for white. So d5 has to be met with e5, and then probably black goes knight e4, and again tries to distract this knight from c3, and then these pawns on the b file will eventually all fall. So really good news, I think, for black here. Really good news for Anna. She has played a really good game. So can't really see any move that, you know, some might question. If I was her coach watching, I'd be like, really good job so far. I hope he is watching somewhere in from Spain, or I don't know where he is right now. But yeah, Anna does go ahead and take on b4 with the queen, which we said is the most logical move. The b file is now open. White's pawns are going to be very weak. And of course, the option of d5 still there. The option of rook takes c3 some points in the future is also still there, especially if this knight goes away. So yeah, this is definitely a good position for white, for black. And she also has the time advantage. This is 2 minutes up on the clock. So white, yeah, I mean, not really much better to do here for white. He goes ahead and plays g5. And I think Anna will quickly maneuver her knight to d7. Now this does help white a lot because he wants to play g5 followed by h5 to do something on the king side. However, the knight on f6 actually can reposition itself to d7, going to c5 and try and put pressure on b3. So even though knight d7s are retreating, actually not so bad. It does not really get in the way of the other pieces. It could also move to e5 if it's useful in some cases, perhaps. It could be an idea. White does get to be the one who pushes g5 in this game, though, against our streamer, who is quite famous for doing the same. But yeah, that's all he will get. Okay, and Anna does go and play knight d7 quite quickly. There was not really much else the knight could do. You don't really want to put the knight on e8. d7 looks like a very, very logical square. And the next up is probably going to c5, I would say. Like white is probably going to play h5 here. Try to further up his plan of pushing pawns, and then I suppose Anna will play knight to c5 and try and attack b3. And I'm not sure how white defends. So white might have to sacrifice pawn on b3. Let's see, maybe some knight a2 followed by b4. It's what white, yeah, white could try and make use of the vacated a2 square, play knight a2. Try to get rid of the pressure. So that probably is why the engine recommends a5 in a lot of lines. So for instance, now through, I assume white's next move is going to be h5, because that's why you played g5, right? To remove the knight away from the protection of h5, then you play h5. So I assume white will play h5, and I assume, I'm not sure, but the computer recommends a5 first, and then knight c5 to avoid this knight a2 and b4, but it's not necessary, I think, to go for a5. I think this is a bit of a computer move, mostly. But in any case, black should be still in control of this game, both on the board and a bit on the clock as well. So yeah, nothing really to worry about here. Just some pawns pushing. We're used to it, right? Pawns pushing in opposite sides. Shouldn't be much trouble here. Again, our king is very, very solid. All these 5 pawns, d6, e6, f7, g7, h7, protecting it. Not a lot of white pieces attacking the king, so not many worries. We can safely continue with our operations on the king side, on the queen side. Let's see. This could be a moment for white to kind of lash out and make a really strange move that I have not thought about. That could be a mistake. Not sure what could that be. But yeah, I mean h5 does make sense, but the thing is, where is white really going? Let's say h5, right? And let's say black passes and it's white's move again. What would be his next move? h6. The black plays g6, locks down the entire thing, and white's attack is gone. And you have also locked your pawns on dark squares where black has a dark square bishop and can attack them. Is it going to be g6 That would make a bit more sense, although f takes c6 attacks the queen with tempo. So you'd have to be careful about that. So my point here is that white doesn't really have a good plan. And that's the whole problem, because black has managed to open the queen side and have, you know, these open lines for her pieces to come forward. White hasn't really managed all that much. And it's hard to see how white continues here. Like, what is the plan? I don't really see a plan, to be fair. Except defending against black's threats. White goes ahead. Oh, that was okay. A bit confused here by the stream. I think the stream is a bit delayed. Because it looked like in the stream he just took on b4 right now. But I guess we're back to kind of a delayed stream. Yeah. But yeah, in the actual like game, white is already thinking, and he's down to 31 minutes. Alex, welcome to the stream. Clive the Red Devil from YouTube says, taking on b3 with a pawn is an awful choice. The pawn is now open to attack from a knight to c5. Well, that is true. I wouldn't call it an awful choice. It was actually the ensign's best move to take with a pawn. But it is true that the pawn is weak and that Anna is taking advantage of it. The reason why white took with a pawn was actually tactical. If he had taken with a knight, then Anna would have been able to play d5, followed by d4 with tempo. So that is why he took with a pawn. But indeed, with his knight journey to c5 and b3, Anna's planning to exploit the positional weakness of the pawn. And it does look like white has made a move, and he has played queen g3, which is not a move that was on my radar, and the engine calls it a mistake, in fact. Why? Let's see why. Okay, so queen g3 does move out of the pin, so it does make some sense in this regard. What exactly does it support, though? Not much. Yeah. I'm not sure why Chess.com calls it a mistake, but I think black can just continue with her plan. Go knight c5 and be very happy. I don't really see a threat. Like white's plan should still be h5 and g6, and you could have played h5 and I guess it kind of discourages d5 a little bit. That is maybe one function I can see. So if black plays d5 now, white can take on d5, and there is no tax on the queen or discoveries or anything like that. So it does discourage d5, but black's plan was not d5 to begin with. I think black's plan is to bring the knight to c5 and attack b3. Just take this pawn, and then even trade queens and win the endgame. This could be also a thing. Like black will have a pawn up with a bishop pair. Should be enough for a win, especially with white's like. White has pushed his pawns in a way that, first of all, does not threaten black's king at all. Like black king is extremely safe, but it has also made a bunch of weakness structure. Like right now, I think like every endgame would be winning for black almost, because white has so many weak pawns. Like every pawn almost is weak. The double pawns are isolated and weak, and the pawns on the king side are pushed too far and locked on dark squares for now. So even an endgame, I think, would not save We're not say white here. Now, does Anna want an endgame? Probably not. So I think she just wants to checkmate white. That is going to be hard with the bishop on c1. The bishop on c1 is an underrated defensive piece, I would say, in this one. But however, checkmate is not, instant checkmate is not the only way you can game. You can just take the b3 pawn and claim to be up a pawn and then continue attacking with your extra pawn and with your two bishops and just dominate the game. So not really much worries here for Anna. Not sure what she's calculating here. Knight c5. I'm sure there is something to calculate. It's not. Yeah, white has some options like knight a2. So it's not an automatic move. So it's good that she can take some time. She's a bit ahead on the clock anyway. And yeah, queen c3 seems like a scared way to play. I mean, it's not that much of a weird move. It's a common move in the Najdorf as well. I think it's just a bit too late for it. To be fair, like white should have played queen c3 and f4 like 10 moves ago if he needed to go with that. Yeah, maybe f4 is a plan. Maybe f4 is a plan. Like if black does nothing, let's say black plays something random like rook c7, right? Yeah, I could see f4 being a plan. I could also see even f3 being a plan. Try just to solidify e4. Although that might fall victim to like some rook takes e3. But yeah, I could see that moving the f pawn was what white wanted to do here, but it's just too late, I think, for the f pawn. Like the f pawn in the opening can be very effective, but the f pawn in this position where black is just already opened the b file and is already taking a pawn, like black is just much faster. That's what I'm trying to say here. But I guess, yeah, I shouldn't really blame white. Like, I don't think I would have come up with a better in his position either. So it's not like white has played that poorly, in fact. Maybe he was not expecting the knight. That might have been a thing. Because I don't think his opening was... He basically didn't really get much out of the opening. And then we got into a position where Anna's moves were much easier to play than white's moves. So it's only logical that white would make a little bit more inaccurate, and slowly but surely black will get the advantage. That's also the sign of a good player, that you're able to slowly but surely outplay your opponent and get to a position where you're controlling the game, let's say. So far, Anna has played a great game. And let's see how she punishes this queen g3, which apparently is a mistake. Apparently the position is like -1 now, but let's see what will happen. It's still kind of anyone's game. Like, yeah. It's not like, it's a certified win, but definitely black has the advantage for now. It's already 10:47. Wow, that's crazy. I just realized I've been commentating for over 2 hours. Are the other streamers' games finished? Do we have like any idea of any results already? I mean, we know that Blood Queen won by forfeit. I think I see that she is still streaming. I recommended, but yeah, I'm not sure how are the other streamers doing. If anyone can update, that would be nice. Because obviously I'm not really watching any other streams at the moment. Let's see. 30 minutes for each player. We're move 20, so yeah, they will both have to step up. I do think they do get extra, so 30 minutes on move 20 is not that terrible, I would say. Position is not extremely tactical, at least now. There is enough time, I think, to calculate any tactics that arise at the moment. And yeah, Anna-Maja has 200 points more than all of Milan. I mean, Milan is a very common name in Serbia, I think. Yeah, it's also a Serbian streamer. I don't think he streams anymore. FM Milan Jorcev. I used to watch him a little bit. But yeah, Milan is a very, very common name. We also have a Milan in our community, but he's not from Serbia. As far as I know, I think he's from Belgium. There is also a Dutch Milan. I think it's called Milan Mosterman. Plays in Groningen. So yeah, it's a common name in many languages, I guess. Maybe Queen H3 was also interesting to him at a 96. Yeah, here the problem is that, again, white doesn't really have many people in the attack. Like, okay, you're gonna sacrifice your for 2 points, right? What other piece is going to join in the attack? That's like my problem. You are going to fork. Then yeah. The thing is also that knight c5 defense is 6, so that's also a problem for your plan. Is Anna gonna rest after the game, or she'll have a chat of? I have no clue. Not in her mind. I don't think anything is planned. Maybe she will be on Discord. I think she will be on Discord. Especially if she finishes before the rest of the streamers, or at least the ones she's gonna like hang out with. Yeah, I guess. But I didn't plan anything. But I think she will be, yeah. She will be around. I don't think Anna's the kind of person to ghost her community while playing a tournament. Which is good, I like it. I like that she's, you know, still chatting when possible. It's a good thing, I think. Knight c5 played. Yeah, so great move again. Like, what can I say? Laxta's continuing with her plan. And yeah, how does white defend b3? That is the big question, because if you're gonna play knight a2, now you have an extra problem, because you played queen g3, so you undefended e4. So after knight a2, I go back to b6, and then b3 is hanging, and e4 is hanging. So I think black wins a pawn by force here. So yeah, who is the proxy was? Yasmi acted. Haven't been in a while, I think. It's been a while since I commentated. But have some time today, so thought why not just hop in the call. Try and break the silence a little bit. Queen s3, knight a5, knight a queen b6, b4, b6, e4, king a1. Black should find d5. Cool. Does seem d5 like a logical move in this position, though. Yeah, I think she would find it. But what do I know? It did seem like an interesting idea to go queen 3, though. Yeah, it is common as well to try and sacrifice it. Maybe it would work like in a. Maybe it makes more sense than queen g3, actually, because I'm not sure how white defends the b3 pawn right now. Knight a2. Yeah, the problem with knight a2 is, as I said earlier, undefends e4. So you're gonna have a problem defending b3 as well as defending e4. So if you want to go knight a2 and b4, then black will take on e4 and b4. And then play d5, attacking the b4 pawn. Yeah, and then it's really, really hard to get back from a position like that. Like if black takes e4 and then plays d5 with your pawn on b4, yeah, I think white is cooked. So it's actually really tough already for white, which I guess makes sense that Chetacom called queen c3 a mistake. Because this position looks pretty green for white. The engine only says -1, but it's a very depressing -1. Definitely not what we'd expect from the white side of a knight. But it goes to show that Anna has, has the ability to play this kind of games where she just controls the game more. I feel that's very important, especially against low-rated players. Like, it's something I can't do a lot of the time. I try to do it, but I fail to prevent, all my opponent's plans. Right now, the feeling I get from this game is that white really doesn't know what to do and can't really do much. It's black just dictating every move, which is a very nice feeling. And ideally, you want that in every game against the low-rated. So yeah, well done, I guess, to our streamer. Playing very nicely. Starting the tournament with a win would be a great thing. Then she can play players closer to her own level and even higher. Maybe get a GM tomorrow here on stream and test. Decimus is also going to have the white pieces if that happens. So yeah, it's a good thing. Double prize for winning today. Yeah. Also, yeah, with your queen on g3, exactly. So you can get d5 in, guaranteed almost. So yeah, lots of problems for white. I think the more we dig into this position, then we'll find even more. Yeah, great game. Great game so far. I wish I played like that. It's also nice to do that with an opening that you already playing like a few months ago. Not sure where Anna's first Nidorf game was exactly, but she's not really a Nidorf player for a long time at least. And yeah, to be able to get that kind of game with a new kind of opening is also really good. Against an experienced opponent as well. And Milan does go ahead and plays h5. It's okay. I mean, it's like, you know what, I can't really do much about the pawn d3, right? I can't really defend it. Knight a2 would only make my horse. So I can sacrifice it and try and get something going with the king side. It makes sense. Probably the move I would go for as well. Here as white, to be honest. The engine doesn't see this as a mistake. Although the evil did drop a little bit. But I guess black just goes ahead and takes the pawn, right? I mean, don't really see why not. And again, this is very disciplined as well. Like, Anna has not pushed a single pawn in front of her king. And that is why her king is that safe. So white has wasted 4 moves on pushing the g and h pawn. Has to say absolutely nothing. So yeah, that's basically 4 wasted tempos. And even if you do go g6, okay, maybe then we would have to be a little bit careful. But yeah, that is why not pushing pawns in front of your king is good, basically. So what happens after knight takes b3? Well, first of all, knight takes b3 is also a tempo, right? So we are attacking the knight on d4. White cannot play g6 just yet. But we probably have to take on b3, queen takes b3. and then g6. And then, okay, we might have to calculate a little bit, but the problem, like, even if you just take twice on g6, white takes with a queen, there is no other piece to attack. Black just puts the bishop on f6, and just, it's actually black's bishops that are dominating the game again. Like, white has 0, 0, 0 attacking. He only has a queen. You can't checkmate with just a queen. Even if that queen reaches g6, it would be kind of scary. Yeah, it's just... Like, his rooks are centralized, but are in no position to help. Triple your opponent's pawns and eat them one by one. Yeah, that's a nice summary of the game. Is the board slightly delayed? If you mean the board on your right, like the live stream, yes. The board on chess.com is actually slightly ahead, about 5 minutes ahead, I think, of the stream. You can always go to the pinned link in the and check out the live game if you want. The position is the one on your left, though, so yeah, we can just see that, I guess. Adam not having a good time against the G. Yeah, this Mas Anderson guy is very strong. He used to even be number 1 in Denmark, I think. I think now he's been surpassed by Jonas Bjerre. But he's a very strong player. Definitely not a worst GM. He's a very strong GM, yeah. So I guess it's a learning experience, right, Rian? How is Mr. Joel doing? Who is he playing? Is he playing he's actually playing a low rated. So he's slightly above the cutoff for getting paired up. Sound is very low. Oh, I'm sorry for that. That might be my problem. I have got to fix it though. Might be Discord's problem. It might be. I don't think it is though. My sound is on 100 on Discord. Maybe Anna has muted me because I was yapping. That could be a case. Can anyone make out the ELO for them? Yeah, let me help you. So Anna's rating is 6, and her opponent's rating is 2026. So she's exactly 200 rating higher than her opponent. Which is also nice because you can calculate the rating instantly. You know that 200 is exactly +5 if you win. And it's exactly -5 you make a draw, and it's -15 if you... So you know instantly how much rating you gain without having to make any calculations. Can't tell if Anna looks annoyed or bored. Well, I don't know what you saw, Flyevils, but right now I wouldn't say she looks either. Maybe she's a little bit tired. But I would be excited to have this position as black. It means I'm close to winning the game. But maybe she's annoyed at some variation. Where she has actually. Maybe some knight x3, knight c2 are concerned, for instance. Because knight c2 does attack the queen. The queen would probably have to go back. And then white could push like f4. So maybe that is white's plan. But again, it's just pawn pushes without really much meaning. Like, there's no attack without any pieces. Can't chessmate with just the pawns and the queen. So I think eventually she should just grab the pawn. Be like, yay, I'm out of pawn. I hosting your own chess. I wonder if they spell her name. I'd be wrong. Imagine if she moves permanently to this town called Maia. Be like, this is my town now. I'd have trouble to focus playing at this time. Is it bedtime for you, or what? I mean, it is 11. But especially after, you know, some people actually did travel today. I'm curious how. I would be tired if I was traveling in the same day. But if you have had a rest day and playing at late is acceptable. Like you probably did nothing all day, right? You just prepped. It's not bedtime as long as Anna is like, that's good. Joel also plays versus an Eider. Wow. Very popular. Still very popular, right? And Eider was popularized like in the 60s and 70s. Bobby Fischer playing it a lot. Strange that it's still probably the most popular Sicilian. Like, you would think that theory would have shifted. No, people still play the Eider. Crazy. And White tries like all of this different approaches against the knight of this h3, rook g1, g4, f4, whatever. In this game, Milan tried a very, very classical Sozin attack, which is pretty much the most common variation was played in the 70s. Didn't really go well for him. I guess the defensive capabilities of Black have improved since that time, because when Fischer played this, he used to win every game with it. So. Is king f2 normal in a Eider? Not really. You're talking about Joel's game? White usually castles queenside in the Eider, what I know. I'm not an open Sicilian player by any means, but have played some games. I actually have played against the Eider at some point, because I played against some players that only played the Eider, so I was able to prepare against them, and I found some cool novelties. And I was able to get a really good position against an FM in one game, but then we made a draw. Because I wasn't really sure how to progress. I got like a plus 1.5 position. I was like, what's my plan here? Nah, let's make a draw. Joel isn't playing a normal Eider then. Yeah, I mean, is he still in the opening? Okay, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to tell you about without looking at his position, to be honest. What I do know is that Anna has taken on b3, and in fact she done it so that she exactly has 19 minutes and 15 seconds, so she's just below 20 minutes. I guess he wanted to hit the clock to hit 20:00, but he was too slow. Skill issue. He has moved 20. Wow, and it's king on f2 in a Eider. Yeah, that looks very strange. Like, I'm sure that White castles queenside in at least 80% of the games in the Eider. So yeah, king f2 is strange. Hopefully he's doing well. Yeah, knight x b3 played. And we get to see what White does. My guess is knight c2. Like, White doesn't really want to trade. He's already down a pawn. Trade just opens up your king even more at this point. Like, less defenders of the king. Like, the knight on c2 could help the key squares like a3, b4. It also gains the tempo of the queen. The good thing for Anna is she can take the second bishop, which again might not look like a great piece on c1, but it's actually a very good defensive piece. So if Anna wants to play for checkmate, she could consider taking the c1 bishop. Hello, Olgan's Blazing, welcome. What has happened in the game so far? Okay, let's give like a quick recap. So basically it was an open Sicilian, was an Eider. White played the Sozin attack. He didn't really get much out of the opening. Black was able to push like b5, b4. White tried to push some pawns like kings. It didn't really get too far. As you can see, pawns on g5 and h5 still there, not doing much. And Anna gradually has outplayed her opponent, and now she has actually won a pawn with a nice maneuver. The knight on f6 went from d7 to c5 to b3. and just took the pawn that was there. And now Anna is out of pawn. She's still on the offensive because the b file is still open, c file is still open. No files on the king side are open, so even if she was not a pawn up, she would be in a better position. She also has the bishop pair. White decided to leave his chosen bishop on b3 and got taken by the other knight. c5 takes b3, and then the other knight went to c5 b3. So yeah, really good position for her. She has played a really good, I think, without any inaccuracies or mistakes or blunders so far. Really, really clean. And yeah, we're getting towards the kind of late middle game. Both players are on around 20 minutes, so a little bit of time travel, not too much, but it should be fine, I think, because the position is just that good. You thought I was in Maia as well, and yeah, I'm not really playing any tournaments outside of the Netherlands where I'm currently in for at least foreseeable future, but we'll see about next summer, maybe. It does seem like an interesting tournament. I do want to meet some of these people that are playing here. I haven't met actually almost anyone. People haven't met Phoebe, haven't met Hannah. Yeah, haven't met Adrian either. Hopefully when he's back in the Netherlands. The banana is still there. Yeah. I don't think Anna will eat the banana. Maybe if her opponent like stalls in a losing position or something, but I don't think it'll happen. So yeah, good night, GP Slap Leica, and yeah, hope you're doing well. And yeah, nice to have you here. Nice to meet you as well last Saturday. Maybe the opponents will eat the banana. It'll be fun to see. Yeah, I did move out of Greece, yeah, last week. Still feels kind of new here, but yeah, that's also the reason why I'm not playing. Had to spend quite a lot of money to move to a new country. Yeah, and also I'm working, so yeah, I can't really afford to take a lot of vacation this year, but it's okay. I saved my vacation days for next year, next summer. I might even be able to take a whole month off. We'll see. And just go to some random tournaments. Maybe just go back to Greece and play tournaments there. That would be really fun. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so Anna's opponent is also below 20 minutes. So yeah, and I guess I still believe he will play knight c2. The best move according to the end is actually to take on b2. That is interesting. I think if you're black here, you do want to see white taking on b3. Just trading is good when you're up material. And also, as I said, it's one less defender of white king. The weather might feel like heaven compared to the Greek summer. That's not really true. It's too cold here, man. Imagine it's summer and it's raining with 20 degrees. That's not summer. That's like October weather. We did have quite beautiful weather the first week that I was here, but now it's much more cold. Yeah, she's got this. I also think she's got this. She looks confident as well. She's now up on time again. Not many major issues with time management this game. This is kept it under control mostly. Just realized I should probably be a little bit quiet because everyone is asleep. Don't want to get warning for noise. I don't think I have been shouting too much. People are saying they can't hear me actually, so. But yeah, I do plan to stay for about an hour or so. I think the game will be over around 30 to 35. Is my guess. Yeah. Did Hannah give Anna the banana? That'd be funny. Maybe. You never know. Okay. Banana still hasn't moved. It's a bit louder. Yeah, I did grab my headphones mic and put it closer to my mouth so that I can be a bit clearer without having to shout too much. Because it's late. There is a notice on the elevator of our building. Don't make noise after 10. Between 10 and 8 a.m. I think. So I was like, yeah, oh, it's quite late in fact. So I should probably be a little bit quieter. Don't want to make many enemies in a new place. How my voice becomes good like that? Oh, so that worked. The fact that I picked up the mic. Okay, I guess. Yeah, I have some kind of issues with the mic. I think my mic has also broken down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how to fix that. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys can hear me now. That's good. It looks like white can play knight a2 and attack the queen and the knight on b3. But black has rook takes c1. Oh. That's a good point, yeah. Yeah, rook takes c1 followed by queen takes d4, right? Or knight takes d4 if white takes back with a knight. That's a good point, yeah. Thank you for making tactical points, because my tactics are definitely not on point. Yeah, knight a2 would have won a piece, in fact, if there was not rook takes c1. So knight a2, rook takes c1, and then, yeah, if rook takes c1, you can just take on d4. You can even play knight d2 check, and then take on d4 with a queen. And black retains the extra material, and he's on course to win e4 as well, so it's going to be 2 pawn up. So yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Clive, for saying that. So that's why Anna-Maja took time to maybe, yeah. Yeah, because I guess you do want to be certain that you're not losing a piece, right? Every time where you're going to take material of any kind, you have to kind of see what would my opponent do. Yeah, I didn't even see knight a2. Yeah, probably means that I'm just bad at chess, but yeah. I probably would see rook takes c1 if it was this position, but of course, good player should always see that before they actually play the move and not rely on, the tactics working out by themselves. So, yeah. Good that she calculated then. And maybe the opponent missed that. The opponent thought it's not possible to take on b3. Because he's now down under 14 minutes. Yeah, I always rely on it, choosing. Yeah, it does look like there should be something working, right? With all these tactics, but you always have to make sure. And as I said earlier, this bishop on c1 is doing a good job. So even though it looks bad, black actually really wants to remove that bishop. Especially because it will also displace one of either the king or the rook, which rook is defending the knight on d4, and then it's basically like a house of cards. White's pieces are collapsing one by one. Intuition of me, hopes and dreams, yeah. I mean, whatever. My chess is also like that recently. Hopefully it gets a bit better, but don't have much high hopes. Maybe I can take inspiration from a streamer who's playing a really good game so far. So, yeah. Let's see what white will do. I feel like white was just gonna run out of time at some point and just collapse, make some blunder. I do feel this game will be over before move 40. That is my intuition. He could also trade to some lost endgame that takes a while to convert somehow, but I don't really see how that can happen. Especially with the bishop pair and white spawns being so overextended. It feels like at the very least a second pawn will drop at some point and black would just be completely winning. So, yeah. Victory will be a nice first round result. Yeah, true. A victory is always nice, but it's always good to start a tournament well, especially in such a large field. You don't really know who you're gonna play next, right? By winning her first games, this might play up on round 2. I'm not even sure if that's true, though. She might still get a low rated. But it would be nice if she can have white against a high rated opponent on round 2. And go from there. Tournament just starting, after all. And this guy's is playing his notes. Yeah, okay, so he did play knight a2. Wow. So Mr. Clive found the line. So now it's black to play and win, and immediately Anna has taken on c1. That's called brilliant farming. At least Gen Z would call that. But yeah, I'm sure that was what she was calculating. So rook takes c1, immediately played. Now she's back over 20 minutes. And yeah, I think white resigns pretty much after that, because yeah, he's maybe he takes with a knight. No, takes with a rook. Sorry, takes with a rook. I think that is knight d2, king a1, queen takes d4, bishop takes on e4. It's even like a mating idea with bishop takes e4, knight b3, checkmate. Yeah, I don't think this game is going to be to make it to midnight Dutch time. I think it's gonna be over very soon. So yeah, the thing here is that, how to say, all of white's pieces are kind of overworked. Obviously the king cannot take because the knight's protecting. But yeah, the knight was doing the job of attacking the queen. So if he takes the rook, then the knight on b3 is free to take the other knight on d4. And if the rook takes, then, well, that undefends the knight, so the queen is free to take on d4. So yeah, it's a nice tactic. Kind of removing the defenders, kind of... Not really removing the defender, actually. It's kind of distraction, I would call it. Destruction of white's pieces. Yeah, nice tactic. I think that pretty much seals the game result. I'm not sure why white played knight a2. After all this thinking, did he really miss it, or did he just like maybe she doesn't see it? The problem is, like, even if she hadn't seen it before, what is black gonna play? She's not just gonna lose a piece, right? So by process of elimination, every player should be able to find rook takes e1. Like, it's not such a hard move to find. It's the fact that she calculated all of this before that is the sign of a good player. Well, we are not a piece up, but we're going to have 2 pieces for a rook, which is good. And we also have a pawn. He has to take with a knight. He can take with either piece. The result is going to be the same. We're going to win a minor piece, and then white will have a rook for our 2 bishops and a pawn. 2 bishops and a pawn are much stronger than a rook, especially on an open board where the bishop is going to take on e4 as well in a while. Or maybe white will play f3. Does white get even the time to play f3? It's a good question. But in any case, the 2 bishops should be really strong. There's d5 as well coming at some point. So yeah, white's still thinking after rook takes e1. Probably think, do I resign? Do I play on? If I do play on, which piece do I take with? Not sure what would I do here as white. I don't think I would resign. I don't like to resign. I think I would probably take with a rook. And hope that my opponent would miss knight d2 and instead take on d4 immediately, and then I can try and survive somehow. There's this funny line like rook takes e1. Queen takes d4, queen takes b3, bishop takes e4, king takes e1, bishop takes e5, where black kind of sacrifices a piece. And even in this position, black is much better, because she's down an exchange, but she has 3 pawns for it. And the pair of bishops is just dominating the board, like this bishop d5 coming. Yeah, but there is no need to do that. You can just give a check on d2 to save the knight and then take on d4. So Newt has a flute. You actually have a flute. Nice question. Taking immediately is a mistake. Yeah, after rook takes e1, black has to give a check on d2, but it's quite obvious that she has to give a check on d2 because the knight is hanging if she takes immediately. So I think she has calculated that already, in fact, and she will do it immediately. Well, she might not have a flute, but now she has a sub. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter, for gifting a sub. Do you Newt? Okay, so white does take with a horse. And now Anna is going to take the knight with her own knight, I think. Computer also says knight e2 check is also good. That might actually happen. Because knight e2 check threatens checkmate, so white has to take with the rook. So we actually win back the exchange, so we're a pawn up still. The queen is on d2. Either move is good. Yeah, knight takes d4 simpler. Goes for that. As we said, black has 2 bishops for a rook, and black also has a pawn. So we're up in material. Our bishops are very strong. E5 is coming, or d5. Don't know which one is better. Our knight on d4 is also very strong, so probably e5 to stabilize this knight. And yeah, black is in complete control of the game. Does Anna have FIDE approved footwear on though? You guys have to be quick when the game finishes to catch that, because I was not here in the beginning of the stream. So yeah, but she looks quite comfortable in her clothes, so I don't know. The opponent looks like he has like sandals, yeah. It's average beach tournament attire. Could probably not do that here in the Netherlands because it's very cold, as I said, for the summer. But I suppose the weather in Portugal right now is quite warm. I would guess it's about 28. Let's see. Oh, I was way off. Okay, it's 21. I guess it does cool off in the night. 28 was actually the highest of today. Oh, I just saw rook takes c1 on the screen. She did actually play it immediately. Nice. Using the violin like a flute. I would want to watch a stream of that. That'd be fun. Newt, if you have any ideas. This is why white should have taken on b3 with a knight and not the pawn. Yeah. Clive really criticizing it. I mean, again, I think knight xb3 was also bad at this point because there was this d5, d4 idea. But it is true that all this was caused by this c takes b3. Yeah, you could say that. The Fasten arbiters. Oh no. Imagine. I mean, if she plays games like that, we might want other kind of arbiters. I mean, what's Anna's accuracy like? 105%. Don't think she has made a single mistake in this game. Kramnik typing. Let's see. White is also down to 4 minutes. So I think he's kind of maybe a little bit giving up on this game. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, he obviously knows that he's in a lost position. And the problem is with the pieces that he has, everything's on the first rank except the queen. Not many swindling opportunities. Pieces on the first rank. The only chance would be some kind of g6, opening up everything, getting some kind of attack, but it's very far away. Like, again, these pawns on the king side. He wasted all this time. They never got to do anything in the game. Like, look at how much progress Anna has made on the queen side. And look at these pawns on g5 and h5. Like, okay, pushing pawns is fun, but well, you're not really doing much. And black is actually like, she also pushed pawns, but she managed to open fast. Like the reason we push the pawns in opposite castling positions is to open fast for the pieces. Right? You don't push the pawns just because it looks good. You push the pawn, it actually serves a purpose, and Anna has demonstrated this purpose really well in this game. So they should make those metal detectors to wave around, but then have them detect your fast. Yeah. Next AI project or something. You know, imagine if FIDE makes like an AI that checks the shoes automatically if they are if they're good with a dress code or not. That'd be really funny. Okay, let's see. The opponent is down to 2 minutes. So a move coming, I suppose, at any point. I think Anna is convinced that she's winning right now, so she's just checking. If I was at her position, I would just check other boards. To be honest, like I'm 20 minutes up on the clock. I'm completely winning. I just wait. But okay. It's also like when your opponent has 1 minute, you don't really want to leave the board because you know that he will move on the next 1 minute. So you will have to go back. He has played the move queen to e3. It's again like moving the queen again. Yeah. Not much I can say about that, but he is moving the queen again, and I think black would just go ahead and play e5. Black can take it easy. e5, followed by rook b8, followed by bishop move. Black can also move the knight back, play knight b5. That also looks kind of tricky, followed by rook c8 again. Everything wins for black, to be honest. It's just bored. Well, maybe a bit bored. It's like, why is my opponent not resigning? I'm completely winning. Hello, Silver Surfer 31. Welcome. We use Sutter over here for very tired. I think she's very tired. I think she just wants over with this game because she basically did the job already to win it, so pretty good. And she doesn't play e5, so she's playing fast, trying to kind of make the opponent, you know, make the final mistake, the straw that will break the camel's back, and he will have to resign. This position kind of plays itself for black, to be honest. Like, it's hard to go wrong as black. Like, everything wins. But e5 is a nice move, solidifying the knight on d4. Be nice if you can put like a queen on the c file, maybe threaten queen c2, or even a rook. But yeah, as I said earlier, she can just chill, play like rook b8, bishop c6, bishop a4 kind of plan or something. Like, there's a ton of ways you can win the game. The lack of bishops from white is going to fill. Yeah, knight a2, attacking the queen. Computer wants to trade queens here. I don't think Anna will do that. I think queen a4 makes sense. The computer wants to play queen b3. It's like, okay, the endgame is so winning. Billion pawns up. Also, the queen is the only piece defending g5, so g5 will be also hanging if that happens. Which actually maybe it's a good idea. But yeah. Like, black is up material and attacking, so. How is the chess in the Netherlands compared to Greece? Well, you have to ask me in a bit, because it's only my second week here. I've planned a tournament next weekend. No, like not tomorrow, the weekend after that. But it's a 3-round tournament, so yeah. Have I had Kapsalon yet? The food, not the place where you get your hair done. No, I have not. I guess I should try it at some point, yeah. Have no clue where to get it though. Do you actually get it in a Kapsalon, or do you get it elsewhere? I think I wanted to try like Oliebollen as well, but I didn't have the chance to because we were partying in a festival yesterday. There's a festival here in Groningen called the Noorderzon. Some live music, and you can get some food. We got some tacos. Pretty cool. Oh, you get to the donor place. Okay, cool. But yeah, the chess. I mean, there's a lot more chess players in the Netherlands than Greece, I think. Illegal! Like, I think I was about at number 260 to 300, 250 to 300 in Greece by rating. And I think that Anna, being about 200 points higher rated than me, is the same number in the Netherlands. So that means that, you know, lots of good people in the Netherlands, good chess players in the Netherlands. So I guess it's bigger. Unfortunately, most of the tournaments are in the south and live in the north. And the trains are expensive. So either people should come to the north or, yeah, I don't know. By playing f4 here, by the way, after queen b6, we made some moves. Yeah, queen b6 makes sense. You don't want to trade. And white is desperately trying to you know, finally push the pawns on the king side, but it's about 25 moves too late. I mean, he could have played on move 2, technically, against the Sicilian, so yeah, technically correct, so 25 moves. But yeah, black just plays rook b8 here, or rook c8, or bishop, even bishop a8 is given by the computer. Just making room for the rook. I would think that c6 is more logical for the bishop, but okay, the computer knows best. But yeah, f4 doesn't really threaten anything. Again, it's just the pawn push that just pushes a pawn. If you take on e5, I'm just going to take back with a pawn. My bishop on e7 opens. So it's even better for black. So f4 threatens nothing. That is my point. Before COVID, I remember there were a lot of big events in there. Yeah, there are. There is Tata in January. Not sure if I will get to play that. Probably not, to be honest. But yeah. There is Amsterdam Chess Open, which is in October, and I'm planning to play that along with Anna-Maja, hopefully, and some other people from the community. There is a tournament in my city of Groningen on Christmas, which I'm trying to convince people to play, but nobody's interested so far. But it's a really strong tournament as well. It's 2,000 plus for the first group. So yeah, these are pretty much the 3 biggest tournaments in the Netherlands. And then there are a lot, like there was this tournament in Vlissingen that people played. And yeah, honestly, there's always chess in the Netherlands. I think, as long as you're willing to travel. Might be interesting now. So yeah, that's cool. You can come over. It would be nice. Rook b8 has been played. Rook d2, defending the checkmate. I would just play bishop c6 here, to be honest. Try and get some like bishop a4, bishop c2, bishop a4, knight c2. Idea working. Anna has all the time in the world, by the way. Opponent is already on increment. So I think it's only a matter of time before he blunders something. Wait a minute, the computer says knight b3 is the best move. Doesn't this hang a queen? I guess it's bishop takes e4, but... God. Okay, that is... I mean, if Anna plays knight b3, I'll be calling the arbiter. Imagine being up material, attacking, sacrificing a queen. When, like, literally every other move wins. I think bishop c6 is the most logical here. Yeah, I don't know what this knight b3 is. Everything off of Massavel is nothing for me, yeah. I also have to visit the south, deep south, at some point, yeah. Not sure if there are any tournaments there, though. Ah, there is also the Dutch League. I forgot about that. I also signed up for that. Take the rook with check, then you take the pawn with check. Yeah, that was exactly the point, but it seems very unnecessary when you're up material and completely winning. Yeah, queen a5. Just get out of the pins. Black has 30 seconds anyway, so he would not find the best response. Let's see what he did. f5. I'm sure that blunders. Yeah, this bishop takes e4. Okay, I think Anna will take on e4 and white would resign. So this should probably be where the game ends. Again, it's really funny. White actually managed to get all these pawns on the 5th rank, only to lose in one move. And the pawns just stay there. Bishop takes e4 has been played. Yeah, now it's GG. Now it's definitely GG. Nice. Anna doesn't take a lot of time to find these tactics. That's good. So he's on form for the next round. White played g5, didn't win much. Yeah. Again, this is, you know, pushing pawns just to push pawns is bad. Pushing pawns with a purpose is good. There's a difference. So, yeah, I think this should be GG. My chess.com engine says it's made in 9. Queen takes e4 was played. Queen takes d2 was played. I don't think it would take much longer for Mr. Candice to resign. It's mate in 8. The best of is sacrificing your own queen. So I think that's a good point to resign. Move 29. My prediction of move 30 to 35 is okay. This is gonna be fulfilled because he played b4. Okay. I mean, Anna is up a piece. And she's also checkmating. And she's also up a pawn. No, she's up 2 pawns. She's up a piece and 2 pawns and mating. So I'm not really sure why White is continuing the game, but whatever. Yeah, the banana probably will be eaten while chatting to us on Discord, hopefully. D5, let's see. Opening up a bishop, that's uncommon for a French player. But it is the best move. It's now mate in 7. And it's a really nice way to finish the game as well, I think. Yeah, White can't really do much. Okay, I think he just will resign. His timer is 0 at least, so not G5, but it's something. Okay, I think he just resigned. Okay, so we can say GG's, and yeah, easy clap. Yeah, kind of a very smooth game, I would say. Very clean, very nice. Tazzacom gives me 96.3 accuracy. I don't think Anna made any, like, okay, maybe she didn't sacrifice the queen for no reason while you're in a +10 position. But other than that, I think she played quite close to perfect chess, to be fair. Like, good opening, good middle game, good endgame. Well, there's not really an endgame, but pretty good. Pretty good, yeah. Perfect score. And yeah. Nice Najdorf win. I think White just didn't get enough out of his opening. That's the main thing, right? Like he didn't seem committed to a certain plan in the opening. Let's say, like, you go for some kind of pawn push usually against the narrow, like some f4 f5 or some f4 e5 or some g4 g5. He didn't really go for it, and by the time he went for it, Black was already making so much progress on the queen side that it was kind of pointless to even go for it. So yeah, so great game. I'm gonna hop off the chat, and I'm not sure if Anna wants to join from the stream or will she be there on Discord. I have no clue. I have to say, hello Dirk, I have to give a big thanks to Blood Queen for fixing the camera. And yeah, thank you all for being here. And yeah, congrats, I guess, to Anna for the game again. And yeah, have a good night. I'll see you.